What is the most difficult thing to do in this world? Perhaps it is holding on to the things we have long been infatuated with, loved deeply, and never wish to part from. Once we become attached to something, the heart naturally forms bonds. Hands cling tightly, the mind grows fearful, circling with anxiety at the thought of losing it one day. And so sorrow arises, regret piling up endlessly. All of this stems from a deep-rooted ego, from habitual tendencies accumulated over countless lifetimes, always wanting to take in, but never truly thinking of releasing, renouncing, or letting go. Human beings, lost in worldly dreams, may sometimes abandon something, but rarely through conscious choice. More often, it is because they're too powerless to hold on any longer, grasping until strength is exhausted and suffering increases. Only when nothing can be held anymore do we reluctantly let go. That too is letting go, but vastly different. One is a willing release, the other is forced abandonment. Naturally, their karmic consequences and suffering are not the same. Have you ever sat down and honestly reflected on this? The things we once passionately adored, what remains of them now? If not piles of ashes among our memories, too faint to be spoken into words, then they are lingering humiliations, lifelong burdens carried across drifting fates. And what else remains, if not the scars of love once carved into our hearts, now faded, yet still aching with the dream of a distant horizon of happiness? Years pass, carrying within them deep emotions and fervent hopes. They gather both joy and suffering, weaving together illusions of human life. We dream within dreams, and never, not even for a single fleeting moment, do we live fully for the present. We forget the path, forget our homecoming, forget the oceans of tears still drowning humanity in suffering day and night. And we have not truly loved ourselves. It turns out we are the very beings most in need of rescue. If we cannot save ourselves, how can we save anyone? The things we once clung to become nothing more than the dust of the world. The wind blows, scattering those particles into the boundless mist, leaving us alone with remnants of memories, ashes carried across countless cycles of birth and death. Until we awaken, we remain trapped in fragility and restlessness, stumbling through the rain of worldly existence across lifetimes. Dust stains the faded garments of impermanence. One day, when the seeker awakens from the illusions of worldly splendor, they will reach out to receive drops of pure nectar, washing away all the weary chapters of life. And then, who are we amidst gains and losses? Which sunlit drop beside the sky falls into emptiness. People measure a life with the ideal of 100 years, yet the average lifespan is only 70 or 80. And when that time comes, all arrive and depart according to the ephemeral nature of existence. Youth flies across the 5 continents, learning, shaping oneself, discovering a world full of turbulence yet blooming with freshness. In midlife, one begins to slow down, contemplate the wondrous truths of existence. The mind turns inward, seeking harmony with the universe and humanity. In old age, the body wears down. Life resembles an autumn leaf, thin, trembling in the wind, awaiting the moment when karmic destiny ends, returning to Mother Earth, revolving through birth and death in countless manifestations of being and non-being. By then, the heart gradually learns to let go of desires. The hands begin to give away what they once clung to. At 70, 80, 90, the head has truly aged. Impermanence no longer sends warnings. It stands right beside us. In that moment of departure, reflect. Those we loved, those we resented, the treasures we cherished, the goals we spent a lifetime chasing. What meaning do they still hold? We will no longer stand helplessly watching our own 4-element body lie cold, surrounded by familiar faces. From deep within their hearts, do they mourn or reproach? At such a moment, what people remember most about one another, if not kindness, is the shared moments of happiness, the bonds of gratitude earned through a portion of life together. If someone weeps for our passing, then at least we have lived well in their eyes, that a life's worth is measured by what we have done for others and what we have contributed to this world. What have we done to help, to save, to uplift, or have we only caused suffering, pressure, and resentment? There are those who, though still alive in this world, cause others to tremble upon hearing their name. Their presence alone stabs pain into another's heart. Reaching such a state, our coming and going holds no meaning. Decades pass in mere existence. Not true living that a human life ends either in gentle love and peace or in torment and regret. All depends on the way we treat others and the manner in which we choose to love. The greatest mistake of all is if we hold on to too many painful memories and keep recalling the mistakes of the past, then anyone who walks through this realm of birth and death will end up carrying countless sorrows and grievances upon themselves. If human life had no joy, anger, love, hate, or sadness, then the world of samsara would have already turned into a land of pure Zen. In the realm of love, when we lift our head and look at the passing of spring and autumn, time has drifted away endlessly. Those who once walked beside us have parted and reunited many times. We meet for just a moment, and with a blink of an eye, they become people of the past. The wind stirs, flowers fall, nothing stays fixed from dawn to dusk. Hearts change, so why must our own heart give birth to sorrow? People often liken life to a cup of tea, strong or light depending on how you treat it. Green tea, clear water, a still mind. Only then can one see the essence of Zen. Tea leaves endure scorching sun and stormy rain, absorbing the sacred energy of heaven and earth to form their essence. They undergo cutting, tearing, kneading, and pressing to take shape. Placed into a pot, they endure the boiling heat of water to release their fullest fragrance. Borrowed from the high mountains and deep forests, merging with pure blue streams, they eventually settle into crystal clarity at the bottom of the cup. The tea's aroma rises, offering itself to the 3,000 worlds. Its rich, pristine flavor flows into one's blood, awakening the miraculous inner self. The beauty of the tea leaf lies in giving without holding, offering its awakening fragrance, keeping no memory of worldly joys or sorrows. A simple life cycle. Its fragrance rises high, and when its destiny ends, it lets go naturally, leaving nothing behind. A human life is like a carriage heading toward its own grave. No one can accompany us to the very end. Not family, not loved ones, not friends. If we are fortunate to have someone walk with us for a portion of the journey, then when they must step off, even if we are reluctant, we should feel grateful and wave them goodbye. For at the next stop, another companion will surely appear. Coffee is bitter or sweet depending on whether we add sugar or salt. Pain does not lie in trying to forget, but in whether we have the courage to step forward into something new. Life is like a cup of tea. At first sip, it is bitter, but that is not all. Once we pass through the bitterness, we will taste a gentle sweetness that we grow weary because we hesitate between holding on and letting go. Sometimes we already understand, yet our heart refuses to accept. Those who enter our life are guided by karma and destiny, but whether they stay long or leave abruptly is our own decision. Without explanation comes lightness. Without stubbornness comes clarity. Without excessive desire comes true life. Do not blame others. Do not mock anyone, nor overly admire them. When the sun shines, let us warm ourselves. When storms arise, let us find shelter. Follow your own dreams. Walk the path you choose, and the world will naturally grow peaceful. 3 mantras to release sorrow. One day you will realize there are people who will never ask about you unless you reach out first. Through that, you will understand who truly cares. Time will make many people leave. Whoever remains until the end, treasure them deeply. Persistence does not always make us stronger. Sometimes letting go is what helps us stand firm. If you want to cry, cry. If you can laugh, then laugh. Do not let the illusions of the world turn you into something false. Living under the gaze of others will only lead you astray from your own path. If sorrow comes, remember the 3 mantras. Don't mind it. It's okay. It will pass. Life is not meant to be wasted. The more ordinary you act, the further beauty will drift from you. Life is not for surrender. The more you avoid responsibility, the smaller your place in the world becomes. Do not belittle yourself too much. What belongs to you? Keep with patience. Do not let it slip away only to regret later. With some people, you must express your stance clearly. Only then will the world know what you need. Do not let others make decisions for you and then meekly obey. If you do good and feel wronged, remind yourself, there are people who cherish kindness. Receiving even a single candy, they remember it forever. Yet there are also many who see help as something owed, who demand more and blame you when they're not satisfied. When you encounter such people, consider your help as an opportunity to grow in virtue and accumulate merit for yourself. Enough. Just let it be. Why grieve over the noise of the world? It is merely passing sound. Praise brings joy. Criticism brings pain, but the affairs of the world will continue to flow. Let it be. Why mourn over gains and losses? Life rises and falls. Sometimes you're lowly, sometimes you're a king. Who among us has not stumbled? Over time, everything dissolves like fleeting clouds. All things arise from karma. Understanding this brings freedom from worry. In dreams, we cannot distinguish illusion. Chasing shadows only brings suffering. Let it be. Do not blame the world. Do not fixate on others' faults. Human nature has always been fickle. If everyone were saints, who would live on earth? Let be. Things will pass. Anger and resentment weigh only on oneself. Remove the tinted glasses and suffering will lighten. Close your eyes and see life as shimmering golden blossoms. We have lived in this world for decades. Speaking is easy, but silence is hard. Life flows, yet we exhaust ourselves by holding on. Joy, sorrow, pleasure, and suffering all arise from the mind. Humans care too much about their desires. They pay excessive attention to others' opinions, and when expectations fail, they feel despair. The greater the desire, the weaker the heart. The more one clings to self-interest, the more complicated their schemes. The more one wants, the more one ultimately loses. All wounds arise from desire. If our desire becomes smaller, others cannot predict or exploit it. When we conquer desire, troubles have nowhere to cling and will naturally fall away. And we will find true freedom that in life. Those who have experienced much often become calm and simple, while those who are superficial tend to be impatient and uneasy. A truly strong person is not someone who never sheds tears, but someone who can swallow their tears and continue moving forward. Be patient a little, persistent a little. Even when hope seems unseen, you must believe in yourself. Sometimes, you need the courage to carry burdens heavier than usual. After striving, you will discover that your abilities are far more extraordinary than you imagined. Life's journey is never entirely smooth or flat, so learn to accept, learn to smile. Wipe away the tears, dissolve the exhaustion, and keep walking on the path you have chosen, doing what needs to be done. Eventually, everything will become better. When someone praises you, being happy is enough. Just don't take it as absolute truth, because most praise is meant to win favor. Don't let sweet words deceive you. When criticized, feeling sad for a moment is fine, but don't let anger burst out, for within every criticism lies something you can improve. If life were truly filled with suffering, you wouldn't have time to complain. If living were truly harsh, you wouldn't have the strength to hold resentment. Because everything has not reached the point of extreme hardship, you still have emotions to lament and grieve. Wherever you are, remember, you live for yourself. As long as you are true to your heart and fulfill your responsibilities, that is enough. Fate arises from the heart. When you choose a path, you are shaping your destiny. Don't dwell too much on the past. Live fully in the present and look toward the future. Tomorrow will surely be brighter. We wait the whole day just to rest peacefully at night, bodies tired and worn. The waiting feels like ages. We wait through an entire week longing for Sunday. Many weekends have come, yet our lives remain busy. And so we wait for the year's end, far away, longing for the new year, for spring to quietly arrive. Peace still feels distant. We promise ourselves that next year things will be better. Happiness seems beyond reach. We wait until our eyes grow hollow, our hearts bewildered, not knowing when peace will come. Suddenly noticing our hair has turned gray, we realize we have spent a lifetime waiting in sorrow. Perhaps this life has missed its chance, and peace must be left for the next. Maybe across 1,000 lifetimes, we will turn to stone waiting for eternity. There are many things in life that don't have to follow our wishes to be right. The sun won't refuse to rise because you are sad. The moon won't skip setting because you are upset. Closing your eyes doesn't turn the world into darkness. Even if your vision grows dim, the light is never only yours. In life, it is only the axe that lacks sharpness. There is no grass or tree that cannot be cut down. It is only the person who has not found a method, not the work that cannot be done. If one truly wants something, they will find a way. If not, they will find an excuse. Life is like a glass of water, hot or cold. As long as the temperature suits you, it can be enjoyed. Sweet, bitter, or spicy. If it fits your taste, it is good. Sound may be fast or slow. If it suits your ears, it is beautiful. Spring, summer, autumn, or winter, if they align with your heart, they are all wonderful. Each person walks two paths. One traveled with the heart, called dreams. One traveled with the feet, called reality. If the heart cannot sense in time, reality becomes dull. If the steps are too slow, dreams drift farther away. The most painful thing in the world is knowing that the one you love has given their heart to another, yet you still love them foolishly. Every meeting and parting has its destined cause. Following the natural flow and finding peace is already a blessing. When someone is beside you, helping them feel at ease is a great success. As children, happiness was simple. As adults, being able to live simply becomes true happiness. To make this life worthwhile, do what you love and love what you do. Disappointment arises because expectations run too high. Dreams fade because they are too distant. Burdens grow because you hold too much inside. Some people cannot be forgotten because you cannot bear to forget. Others must be forgotten because they are not worth remembering. Don't trust your eyes too much. Sometimes what you see is merely what you want to believe, while things you dislike are silently ignored. The misunderstood lose nothing. It is the one who judges wrongly who loses the opportunity. We think we control our lives, yet forget that life requires the cooperation of many. Don't sacrifice the future for short-term gain. Anything earned from another's sacrifice will never last. Life is too short for regrets. Don't waste time on people or things that trouble your heart, not even for a minute. If the ending hasn't come, keep smiling and move forward bravely. When meeting others along the journey, offer a bit of warmth. Amid the storms of life, give yourself a bit of optimism. If you know how to love life and harmonize everything gently, joy and happiness will spread naturally. Life is not a race, but a journey. In a race, the finish line matters, but in a journey, the scenery matters. With a good mood, even the simplest scenery becomes beautiful. No matter how hard today is, believe that yesterday will never return, but tomorrow will always come. No matter how strong you are, there are moments of weakness. A gentle word can restore faith. A small kindness can heal. Even atop the mountain of success, the soul may still feel empty. Happiness comes from love and understanding. So share and feel with an open heart. Life is like tea. The first sip is bitter, but that is not the whole taste. Only after passing through the bitterness can you feel the gentle sweetness. Coffee is bitter or sweet, depending on whether you add sugar or salt. Pain does not come from trying to forget, but from lacking the courage to step forward into something new. We grow tired because we hesitate between holding on and letting go. Whoever enters your life may affect you, but whether they stay or leave, that is your choice. Without over-explaining, life becomes lighter. Without stubbornness, the mind becomes clearer. Without perfection, life becomes real. Do not blame others. Do not mock anyone, and do not overly admire them. When the sun shines, embrace the warmth. When storms rise, find shelter. Chase your dreams, walk the path you choose, and the world will feel at peace. Let your heart shine like sunlight, your soul flow like rain through 1,000 lands, your love spread like the wind toward all directions. Live, without clinging. What needs to be released should be released. The more you hold on to, the more you hinder your own happiness. That is why people pass down tales of the Meng-Pe soup or the wine of forgetting. One sip, and all sorrows can be left behind to begin anew in peace. Days of unrest can only be softened with a forgiving heart. A calm spirit will see that nothing lasts forever. Not happiness, not suffering. Life can only ripple the surface of the water. Never hold it still. A tiny seed cannot stir the surface of water. Just as a person with a shallow inner world is easily shaken and wounded by suffering and adversity. What makes one's character different from another is calmness, the ability to remain unmoved when hardships arrive. Whatever turns inward and gathers will become condensed, solid, and enduring. Whatever turns outward becomes scattered and unstable. The journey toward happiness and peace is the same. A return inward, a descent into the deepest core of the mind to discover the nature of birth and extinction, and to recognize where true happiness lies. Only those who have loved deeply can understand the troubles of human life. Only those who have been separated from the one they love can truly feel the bitterness of parting and loss. Day by day, carrying a shattered heart in search of peace, one may find someone who feels like happiness could last forever. Yet separation is among the 8 sufferings. Those who part ways taste both happiness and the torment of letting go. To love but be forced to leave, tears can only be hidden within longing. After enduring much pain, a person eventually awakens and realizes they have clung, desired, and attached far too much that if you choose to love someone, you open a door that leads into the vast ocean of suffering. So prepare your mind to face separation as well. Where there is reunion, there will be parting. Where there is happiness, there will be sorrow. Countless beings in this world carry the heavy burden of earthly dust, walking alone for decades, only to return burdened by an unfulfilled love. Having loved, the soul wanders through the ocean of samsara, searching for the person of a past life. Gather all the tears of humankind caused by parting, and they could wash away the earth. Gather all the sorrows of the world, and they could fill the vastness of space. Thus it is said, the ocean of suffering in the 3 realms has no end, and the tears of humanity never cease, for beings refuse to awaken. Meeting someone and being able to love them is already a blessing. Stopping love and no longer meeting is also due to the ripening of karma. Better to accept the unfolding of karmic causes and conditions than to torment oneself for a promise that cannot be fulfilled. A farewell does not need to be filled with tears if the one who leaves and the one who stays both know how to let go. What belongs to yesterday should remain in yesterday. Then peace today and happiness tomorrow can remain pure without being stained by the past. In this life, if one had to choose the memories that caused the greatest torment over decades, the first thing remembered is always the memories of long separations. Not the happy ones, but the painful ones. Because even those painful memories were once rooted in joy. Only that when the karmic bond ended, happiness transformed into an ocean of tears. Parting with someone means no longer being by their side, no longer sharing sweetness, halting every shared experience, leaving behind familiar affection, letting go of old habits, and suddenly returning to life alone. Because of loneliness, people struggle to accept reality, clinging to the happiness of the past, and that is what causes the deepest suffering. Sit quietly with your heart and look directly at it to see clearly the pure essence of your first love. Then ask honestly, do I love someone to make them happy or only to make myself happy? If love is based on personal desire, then it is merely selfish borrowing. When they choose to leave to seek their happiness, we have no reason to resent them. No one is at fault. It is simply that the karmic bond has ended and we are no longer suited for each other in this moment. That if you love someone because you want them to be happy, you have already taken a long step toward noble love. Those who once loved you may someday stop loving. Do not be sad. Do not torment yourself. Be grateful for every moment of shared happiness. To love someone is merely to wish for their peace and fulfillment. If you cannot walk the path together, then sincerely wish them the fulfillment of their aspirations. A person of the past, someone you once loved, if they fall into hardship, seeing them suffering, how can you be happy? Even if you cannot walk together until the end of samsara, there's still someone you once cherished, only that the karmic debt has ended. Parting? Yes, it hurts, but there is nothing to fear. Happiness, for them and for yourself, does not require a lifetime together. Union and separation are impermanent. No one knows how long anything will last. Sitting together, sharing a cup of tea in silence, simply being present for each other, that alone can be enough. Love exists here and now, within this fleeting, impermanent life. Suffering is unwanted, yet is the truth of existence. Everyone has their own strengths. There is no need to prove anything. Just devote your effort, and others will feel it. 1 minute of anger steals 60 seconds of joy, so learn to see everything lightly. When you have chosen a path, there is no right or wrong. Every decision has its reason. In love, those who truly care will not abandon you. Even with 100 reasons to leave, they will find one reason to stay, because they know how to embrace imperfections that not let your tears fall too easily. When you smile, the world smiles with you. When you cry, you must cry alone. Be a calm person, live a kind life. With a smile on your lips and faith in your heart, life will always be beautiful. Time is too short for regret. What is eaten, no need to recall. What is loved, no need to hesitate. What is ended has ended, no need to cling. Life is but a journey. Glory is like dew on morning grass. Born with nothing, we depart with nothing. Gain or loss is nothing. Follow the flow of nature, and peace will come. To one person you may be nothing, but to another you may be priceless. Know your worth so you can act accordingly. You do not need many people in your life. When you meet someone who loves you, learn gratitude. When you meet someone you love, learn sharing. When you meet someone who does not understand you, learn patience. When you meet someone you do not understand, learn understanding. Life does not need to go your way to be good. The sun does not fail to rise because you are sad. The moon does not fail to set because you complain. Covering your eyes does not turn the world into darkness. Uncovering them does not make the light belong only to you. There is no tree that cannot be cut, only an axe that is not sharp enough. There is no task impossible, only minds unwilling to find solutions. If one wants something, they will find a way. If not, they will find excuses. Life is like a cup of water, hot or cold. It is drinkable at the right temperature, sweet or bitter or spicy. It tastes good if it suits your palate. For seasons turn, yet if they match your mood, each season is beautiful. Everything, as long as it suits you, is happiness. When you fall into the pit of life, when hardship surrounds you, do not despair. Remember that the greatest strength comes from yourself. No road is perfectly smooth, there are always bends. You must cross them and continue forward. Before the winding turns of life, remember that they are not meant to defeat you, but to give you a chance to train your resilience. No matter how many silent tears were shed last night, when the sun rises, the city still awakens with bustling people and vehicles. Therefore, believe that every difficulty will eventually pass, and tomorrow will always be a new day. Life is very short. Do not waste it on gossip and criticism. If you see something meaningful, quietly do it and move on. Those who sow seeds of sharing will harvest love in return, while those who sow selfishness will reap loneliness and sorrow. Clinging to resentment only exhausts yourself. The world still laughs and moves on, while our own hair slowly turns gray. The leaves of time fall swiftly, and the days pass like drifting clouds. There is no need to blame anyone, nor to be troubled by the changes of life. This life holds much sadness. Do not hesitate to smile. Live gently and openly, so that peace may come from all directions. Life is truly beautiful. Why regret the days that have passed? The present will always flourish if the heart remains open. No matter how optimistic a person is, there will still be moments when tears fall. No matter how strong the inner self is, there will be times of wavering. We all wish for someone to shield us when it rains, someone to comfort us when we feel wronged, someone to protect us in times of danger. Yet everyone also understands that no matter how far the road is, we must walk it ourselves. No matter how tangled things are, we must handle them ourselves. No matter how painful the wound is, we must cross it ourselves. The world is unpredictable. One cannot live without clarity. The human heart changes. One must learn to adapt, learn to cherish, but also learn to forget. Facing what is hard to face is sometimes the way to grow. Being misunderstood without arguing back is generosity. Time will reveal truth from falsehood. Being hurt without resentment is virtue. Time will reveal warmth and coldness in human hearts. Being slandered without bitterness is refinement. Time will illuminate good and evil that I in life. What sets people apart is not how much they see through, but how lightly they take things. A heart's true breadth is not measured by how many people one knows, but by how many one can forgive. Accepting loss does not mean being defeated. Sooner or later, there will be rightful compensation. Yielding does not take anything away except a bit of pride, but it gains goodwill, making one more respected. A Zen master once said, "My heart burns like fire, but my eyes remain cool as ashes." He set rules for daily living. Welcome every guest with the same attitude, even when alone. Be mindful of what you say and practice what you speak. Once you decide something, do not abandon it, but always think twice before acting. Do not regret the past. Look toward the future. Carry the fearlessness of a hero and the loving heart of a child. Rest at proper times. Eat regularly. Never indulge to excess. Sleep as if entering your final sleep, and upon waking, leave behind the anger and losses of yesterday, like discarding old shoes. Then, vow to live this day fully in peace and in love. Life will not always go as you wish, and you will meet people who do not please you. If you cannot take things lightly, your days will be filled with trouble. Among people, because knowledge, views, and cultivation differ, perspectives and ways of handling problems also differ. Conflicts and clashes are normal. At such times, forgiveness becomes dignity, becomes refinement, like a protective umbrella helping you move forward through storms. Forgiving others sometimes requires sacrifice, generosity, or accepting a bit of loss. Not weakness, but a way to broaden the road ahead. Life, like the sky, cannot always remain clear. Sometimes it darkens and troubles the heart. Nor can life forever offer luck and happiness. Sometimes it will make you taste bitterness. Therefore, open your heart, learn to forgive, walk past the people and things that trouble you. You will then find yourself standing higher, seeing farther toward the horizon. Each person has only one heart, but two chambers, one for joy and one for sorrow. If laughter is too loud in happiness, it may awaken sadness. If tears flow too long in grief, joy may struggle to return. Each heart is half tired from livelihood, half weighed down by worries. Only when you understand what is heavy can you lighten it. Only when the mind is calm can the heart rest and the pain ease. Do not think life is long. It is surprisingly short. A small heart works tirelessly day and night. Humans bloom like summer flowers and fall like autumn leaves. Life is fleeting as wind. Do not imprison yourself in sorrow. With friends or family, no need for fancy words. Sincerity is enough. No need for dramatic vows. Doing what you say is enough. No need to analyze gain and loss. Mutual understanding is enough. No need to doubt. Trust is enough. No need to cling. Holding each other in the heart is enough. No need for fiery passion. Lasting commitment is enough. No need for wealth. Peace and health are enough. Choose the right career for a lifetime of success. Choose good friends for a lifetime of wisdom. Choose a suitable environment for a lifetime of joy. Choose kindred spirits for a lifetime of happiness. Choose optimism for a lifetime of serenity. A person's life is like a mathematical graph, rising and falling with variables, high and low, shallow and deep, but eventually returning to the original point of true nature. Suffering is not frightening. What matters is what we learn from it and how we mend our hearts. Do not fear, do not panic. Carry a pure heart into life with gentle silence and eyes filled with compassion. Walk your path knowing that benevolent spirits walk with you, and those who share your ideals will resonate with you. No one is truly alone in this world. One human lifetime cannot measure the vastness of the cycle of birth and death. It may span thousands of lifetimes, or a single moment may awaken wisdom. Human destiny is often shaped by hardship, but only after enduring suffering do we understand the love that embraces all beings. Holding one kind thought, just a little understanding, a little compassion, can turn mistakes into light. Everyone fears suffering. Everyone resists desire, yet still falls into it. Everyone seeks peace, but no one can taste bitterness on our behalf. Peace is not hard to find. It only requires letting go, not competing, not clinging, not grasping, not creating more burdens. Here and now, emptiness is presence. There's no need to look up to the heavens or bow to find Savior. Hardship and pain are sometimes the returning arrows we once shot into the world, knowingly or unknowingly. No sorrow is identical to another. Every passage through life and death adds another lesson that deepens wisdom. As many beings as there are in the world, there are that many experiences. Struggling in the ocean of suffering is the beginning of the journey to discover the pure nature of creation. Do not blame fate for the suffering on your shoulders, for ultimately, every hardship, obstacle, and adversity is like an arrow we once released, traveling a long arc through time, only to return to us again. Shooting hits oneself. If what one sends out is not an arrow, but a flower, then what returns will certainly be a flower, not a bow or a spear. Peace cannot be begged for or sought elsewhere. Peace begins in every small thought of each person. The treasure of the Buddha's wisdom is vast, but if there is not enough time to study, remember only one thing: keep the mind pure. When a mind is pure, thoughts are peaceful, and words and actions naturally become upright. In the world, it is easy to hold your head high, but difficult to bow in humility. Easy to speak much, but hard to know when to be silent. Easy to promise much, but fulfilling promises is difficult. Easy to doubt or think badly of others, but trusting and thinking well of others is truly hard. Following this, we often see the faults of others but rarely see our own, even if they are right before our eyes. What we do for others we remember clearly, yet we often forget to repay those who have helped us. Loving and cherishing good, beautiful, and lovely people is not as difficult as loving those with many flaws and shortcomings. Bowing to tyrants and evil seems easier than bowing to the enlightened. Indulging in worldly pleasures is easier than keeping precepts and living simply. Following the rules strictly is difficult. Chasing worldly desires is easy, but letting go and detaching is far beyond reach. Samsara exists inherently. Liberation is truly difficult. The pride of humans is endless. Just a single bow, letting go of deep ego, and the sky suddenly rises higher. The earth instantly opens wide and vast. If you wish to sit on the lotus throne, first you must stand in the muddy waters, doing what others are reluctant to do, and enduring what others find hard to bear. Bowing to the Buddha, with all five aggregates deeply interrelated in infinite causes and conditions. Pray that he may let all beings see the beautiful expression of his presence within them and in me. Passing through the world, finding the harbor of love, joy blossoms freely. At dawn, the heart floats like a boat without a helmsman, unexpectedly drifting to distant places. Visiting the wealthy, borrowing laughter, still behind closed doors full of sighs. Oh, happiness brings tears. People live alongside each other, yet remain lonely. At the theater of life, buying a little joy, dreaming of a little fame. In life, encountering envious eyes and grudges exhaust the soul. An overflowing cup becomes even sadder. Who knows that the world is a play? Who filled it with emptiness? In this worldly journey, we borrow the clothes of others, mistakenly believing the clothes are ourselves, like borrowed silk or robes. Eventually, they must be returned. Life in the world tires the feet. Laughter and sorrow, honor and disgrace revolve endlessly. Let go, bid farewell to the stage of life, smile lightly. No matter how many regrets or exhaustion, luck or misfortune, what is past is the past. Once it passes, let it go, and the heart finds peace. And no matter how brilliant or successful, facing obstacles and failures, if we have tried our best, there is nothing to regret. Life has many tasks only we can do, many experiences only we can feel. A broad heart clears the path, a narrow mind makes it hard to see. A person should think of gratitude, work without placing reason above love. A year has 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter, in order, but life never returns. One can only sow once and harvest the fruits. Why not strive for the best harvest? Life is condensed into 3 days: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday flows like water, passing by never to return. Today, even if here, gradually moves into the past. Tomorrow will come, but it too will pass. Just like that, a year passes in the blink of an eye. A lifetime is gone in a turn of the back. Only by letting go of yesterday and cherishing today can tomorrow arrive without regret. If we live only with emotions, tragedy easily follows. But if overly rational, it becomes absurd. Without obstacles, how to call it conquest? Without suffering, how to call it life? Life's ups and downs are eternal. In moments of silence, eyes and mind open wide, even one day becomes infinite. We, flesh and blood humans, cannot avoid moments of exhaustion. A small, weak heart will sometimes feel hurt, but not all frustrations must be displayed on the face, nor should difficulties always be shared. If all pain could be forgotten, no one would wish to remain at ease. If all wounds could heal instantly, what need for worldly taboos? Remember, you are an ordinary person. When the body is tired, rest. When the heart is hurt, seek healing. As long as you have tried your best, there is no need for regret in life. Many things cannot be obtained simply by wanting. Do not make life difficult for yourself. There is only one path. We cannot choose to surrender. One path cannot be denied: growth. Overcoming obstacles brings experience, and mastering difficulties strengthens resilience. In this world, there are only 2 great matters: birth and death. Once one is done, only the other remains, so there's no need to rush. What comes with destiny will arrive. Waiting or wishing gains nothing. The wise do not live by the tongue of the world, nor fear the gaze of others. Understanding oneself, observing one's strengths and weaknesses, and gradually improving is a way to cultivate life. The greatest loneliness is having no spiritual refuge, not knowing where to turn, whether recognized or not. If the heart holds only goodness, nothing can disturb it. If the inner mind is truly virtuous, there will be no resentment. Living simply, the world, no matter how chaotic, cannot affect you. Being good brings health, peace, and restful sleep. Doing good is known by heaven and earth, revered by spirits. If without doubt, the world is not cold. Without discrimination, the world is not distant. Without resentment, the sky remains clear. Without conflict, the seas remain calm. True tranquility is not sitting still for hours, but using a calm mind to observe all things. hearing even the subtle life of flowers and grass. Lasting peace comes from within. Seeking it outside is futile. Humans strive all their lives, yet at departure cannot take even a blade of grass. A life built and accumulated cannot carry even a trace of vanity. Admiration is born. Whether rich or poor, at the end of the road, everyone must say farewell. So while there is opportunity, live wholeheartedly. Cherish those you see as necessary and dear. Do not chase the fleeting standards of the world. Life is truly short. Indeed, that a timid person who makes empty promises may live 100 years, yet the moment they turn away, they become a stranger. There are also those who form a heartfelt friendship, only to find later that life and death have separated them. So, while there is still opportunity, do not create regrets. Do not overthink. Do not pay too much attention. Do not demand too much from life. If we can reduce comparisons, lessen calculations, release some resentment, practice more tolerance, more understanding, and give more freely, then each day becomes a new day, and the world will grow peaceful. The more we fear and avoid suffering, the more easily we encounter it. Through suffering, we learn life's greatest lessons. Pain is the teacher that shows us what true happiness is. Step through a hardship, a sorrow, and the horizon of freedom widens. Compassion grows, forgiveness expands, and the karmic cycle moves back a step. Pain may now pierce our hearts, yet later, when we look back, we may bow in gratitude to those very sorrows we once endured. It is often said, every sorrow has its beauty. Every suffering teaches the lesson of compassion. If we truly understand suffering, we will no longer wish to inflict it upon others. This is why understanding brings compassion. Those we love in the present, no matter how much they are suffering, should not be feared. Observe fully the true nature of suffering. Once the lessons of suffering are learned, it naturally departs, making way for happiness and peace. The heart seeks happiness, yet the mind resists suffering. How greedy that is. Once we accept stepping into the game of life, face challenges boldly, drifting in a human world, remain strong enough to step over obstacles. Do not wait for anyone to give you joy or blessings. Leave no trace of resentment, and do not let your feet get muddied unnecessarily. Do not stubbornly immerse yourself in the mire of life. If your heart desires peace and ease, do not chase worldly disputes. After a long, cold night, a new day shines beautifully again. The more one experiences worldly sufferings, the wider the heart grows with light and compassion. Ancient teachings of the Buddha describe the Pure Land as free from suffering, full of joy, happiness, and peace. Yet over time, listeners often compare it to the suffering of the human world. They forget that the other realm is the realm of the mind, formless, effortless, without desires, neither coming nor going. There, beings are purely virtuous, dignified, full of mindfulness. They do not chase worldly desires. Their hearts bear no malice, no rivalry, no troubles. They do not suffer because their minds are always full of radiant love, without attachment, anger, or ignorance. Following the teachings to observe how beings in the Western Pure Land live in bliss, we can recognize the source of true happiness. Morning worship, midday sustenance, mindful meditation, compassionate action, evening study, nightly practice, living the day in virtue and wisdom. How can suffering enter such a life? While beings in the human realm are weighed down by worries, drifting toward regrets, mourning past sorrows, a narrow heart, lacking understanding, compassion, and proper conduct, is engulfed by desire, trapped in the three poisons of lust, anger, and greed, burning itself with passion and self-destruction. The mind has not yet embraced release. Without the foundation of insight and meditation, one wants everything but avoids suffering. Where can such logic satisfy the endless greed of humans? To be free from suffering, the heart must release excessive fantasies. To escape the cycle of rebirth, the heart must let go of attachment. Do not cling, Do not seek suffering. Do not suppress. Do not flee. If someone harms us and forgiveness is hard, still strive to forgive. Compassion involves releasing attachments. Even when hard, let go with courage. Cease all desires. This is true morality. Everything that comes and goes in life is like clouds on mountains, water flowing in valleys, rising and falling, encountering obstacles, eventually flowing to the vast sea. In this mind, wisdom, compassion, happiness, and love are already present. They have never truly been absent. The face of suffering calls forth compassion. Pain calls forth the human experience. Change calls forth life. Laughter and tears call forth the cycle of rebirth. Humiliation and glory, rise and fall, call forth the reality of existence. Exhaustion calls forth endurance. The ups and downs of life teach self-awareness. Loss calls forth attachment. Passion calls forth desire. And life is the form we inhabit. Why lament bitterness excessively? Worry achieves nothing. Losing precious things is a lesson. Madness is a lesson. Folly is a lesson. Love, only because it is the fate of sentient beings who still cling to ignorance. Long, weary sleep calls forth worldly pain. Sorrow and suffering accompany us in life. If we are not ready, pain will come. Understand this. This is the world of Taba. Suffering and happiness are normal. Only when returning to the source of truth can we leave behind worldly hardships, accept life, smile, and expand our hearts. Sit quietly amid life, transcend joys and sorrows, letting the heart bloom with compassion. Our lives only allow experiences, not possessions. We are travelers. One day we must say goodbye. So face what passes with equanimity. Open your heart to receive what comes, and rejoice that I in life. No matter how good you are, not everyone will like you. No matter how virtuous, there will be praise and criticism. No matter how successful, there will be judgment. Some will hate, some envy, some disregard you. Life is like this. You cannot please everyone. Do not lose your essence to please others. Maintain principles and self-respect. What others say does not define you. Be your true self. That is enough. People may look alike, but their perspectives differ. Mouths may be similar, but words vary. Wealth may be the same, yet spending differs. Right and wrong, good and bad, depend on perspective and circumstance. Each individual has their own way of life. Step forward confidently. A tree does not need applause to grow. Grass does not need care to flourish. Flowers in deep mountains, even if unnoticed, still release fragrance. Work need not be praised to be meaningful that to understand. One only needs to devote their whole heart to being a human. It is not necessary for everyone to like you, only to be honest and generous. Flowers have 100 forms and 1,000 styles, yet they can still bloom and release fragrance without obstruction. In life, everyone has their own style. Why not support each other to rise? Why lower each other? If something is worthy, cherish happiness, preserve the people who bring you joy, be close to those who touch your heart, love those who move you. Being human, if it seems easy, it is not entirely so. To move thousands of hearts or control the tongues of the world is certainly not easy. Being human, if it seems hard, it is not entirely so. Keeping a kind heart already makes one gentle, and walking your own path is enough. Life is actually not very long, and since we are here, we should live a little beautifully. A life of wandering and worries, years filled with burdensome anxieties. From where have they bound us, and yet we cling to karma. In life, gaining always involves losing. Giving does not always receive immediate return. Life has its own way of operating. The future always lies ahead. Just step forward firmly. Grant yourself wings of freedom and walk through pain and consequences to become a cheerful person. Forget the years and your age. Do not let time make you grow old. No matter your age, as long as your spirit feels young, that is enough. Overcome the temptations of fame and gain, for they are external things. Everyone wants a bit of reputation, a bit of profit. Then they compete, When things do not go as desired, they blame life for being unfair. In truth, living a simple and ordinary life is the greatest happiness, and everyone should have it. A friend, wealth cannot accompany us for a lifetime, but sometimes a true companion becomes our lifetime treasure. It is best to have a confidant. When feeling lonely, you can go to them and speak a few words. Yet having a truly meaningful friend is not easy, so value the quality of your friendships. Build a refuge within yourself. When facing troubles, calm your mind. Give yourself a space for tranquility. Look at wildflowers by the roadside. Even small, they bloom and adorn life, and the world suddenly becomes more beautiful. Think optimistically. Live a life of happiness. We live a busy, tiring life. No matter the hardship, work is never fully done. A lifetime of saving, collecting, no matter how much money we gather, never feels enough. A lifetime of caution and worry, no matter how careful, mistakes are still made. A lifetime of reading, feeling, applying, no matter how intelligent, misfortunes are still endured. The world is vast, humans are small. Some things should not be taken too seriously. Not everything goes as planned. Do not oppress yourself. If you have done your best, accept the result with joy, for being busy is also a kind of happiness, leaving no time for idle thoughts. Wandering sometimes brings its own joy, allowing us to experience real life. Fatigue is also a kind of enjoyment, letting us fully use our free time and gradually helps us understand life better. Life is not terrible. Right and wrong are experiences, good and bad are scenery. If the heart is at peace, happiness will always be present. Still, life flows on. Worrying endlessly about eternal matters only disturbs the present peace. Life has three keys: to accept, to change, and to leave. If you cannot accept, you should change. If you cannot change, then leave. Optimistic people often use a smile to cover things that do not go as desired, while pessimistic people only blame and forget the joy of life. Do not keep asking others why. Question yourself. People are kind to you because you're kind to them or you have some meaningful role. Do not expect everyone to understand you. Everyone has their own preferences and concerns. As long as you know what you are doing and your goals, that is enough. Improve yourself, create value for yourself, and the world will naturally respect you. In life, no matter how good you are, you cannot be loved by everyone. No matter how well you live, some will praise, some will criticize. No matter how successful you are, people will judge. There will be fans, there will be haters, some envy, some disregard you. Life is like that. You cannot please everyone, so do not lose your essence just to satisfy others. Everyone needs principles and self-respect. Through the mouths of others, you are not the complete person, but have many versions. You only need to be a good, authentic version, because people may have the same eyes but different perspectives, same mouths but different ways of speaking, hearts constructed similarly but thoughts vary, same money but different spending habits. Right and wrong, good and bad depend on stance. Different circumstances change perception that we are all human, but each individual has their own way. One must confidently walk on their own feet. Grass grows without applause. Flowers in deep mountains bloom fragrantly, even if unseen. Work without needing others to understand. Just give your best. Flowers with hundreds of forms still bloom and release fragrance without obstruction. In life, everyone has their own style. Why not support each other to rise? Why lower each other? If something is worthy, cherish happiness. Keep close those who bring joy. Be near those who move your heart. Love when it touches you. Being human, if it seems easy, it is not entirely so. To move thousands of hearts or control the tongues of the world is certainly not easy. If it seems hard, it is not entirely so. Keeping a kind heart is enough, and walking your path is sufficient. Life is short. Having come this far, live beautifully. Joy we often hold in our private world cannot reach the horizons or all living beings. Suffering we try to drive away accumulates in the heart. Over the years, we blame life for lacking empathy. Share joy and sorrow. Let your heart soar. Life is peaceful when you know how to love. Joy is vast as the universe. Sorrow is also wide. But accept it without clinging. Life has sweetness and bitterness. Some days bring sun and rain together, like mountains reflecting in still waters in serene peace. Boats glide between joy and sorrow. Practice giving more. People interact using the heart. If you're good to someone, they will know and repay accordingly. Demand less from others. Require more from yourself. With less ambition, worries decrease. Resolve grudges. Life is like a smoky village, born with empty hands, dying with nothing to take away. Forgiving others is also liberating yourself, so learn to live simply. Life is not inherently complicated. Practice living as simply as possible. Spend more time caring for family and friends, and you will feel the joy and meaning of existence. A boat reaching the bridge will naturally go straight. When life pushes you to a dead end, a new path will open. Likewise, wherever you must go is exactly where you are meant to be. Experience what must be experienced. Meet those you are destined to meet. The pine and the cypress remain verdant in the depths of the forest without anyone tending to them. The apricot blossoms bloom in the cold winds without needing admiration. Everyone must go through a period where no one helps, no one supports, and no one asks how they are. Only then can one become strong and grow beyond past limitations. Regardless of who you meet, they are meant to appear in your life. Nothing happens by accident. Each person brings a lesson, a feeling, or a mark upon your journey. In this world, there is no inherent injustice, only an unsettled mind. Do not complain or harbor resentment. Learn to be at ease with all things and see them as drifting clouds. Then you will realize that human life is but a passing breeze, appearing and vanishing, born from dust and returning to dust. Ideals are like a faint lamp, lit, then extinguished. Affection is like a rain shower, falling, then drying up. Friends are like gathering clouds, coming together, then dispersing. Sorrow is like a jar of wine, intoxicating, then sobering. Loneliness is like a star, shining, then fading. Solitude is like the moon, rising, then sinking. 100 years of life is but a fleeting dream. After all the exhaustion, there comes a time one must rest. We all hope for someone to hold an umbrella for us in the rain, to comfort us when wronged, to protect us in danger. Yet everyone understands that no matter how far the road stretches, we must walk it ourselves. No matter how tangled the tasks, we must do them on our own. No matter how painful the sorrow, we must step through it alone. The world is unpredictable, so we must remain clear-headed. People's hearts change, so we must learn to adapt. Learn gratitude, but also learn to let go. Facing what is difficult to face is a form of strength. Accepting what is hard to accept helps us mature. The human heart is often fragile, but we must still strive to live strongly, because no one can live our life for us. The world rarely cares how much injustice or suffering you've endured. What people notice is only the results you can offer. So when storms rise, remind yourself that once the tempest passes, the sun will surely appear. Do not waste breath complaining to others. They will not truly care. Some burdens, when released, bring peace. Some people, when remembered, bring warmth. Some pains, once understood, make you stronger. Dwelling too much on one issue traps you within it. In truth, no matter how simple a matter is, thinking too much makes it complicated. Maintain a calm heart and an open mind, and everything will become lighter, leaving behind peaceful days. When the journey ends and the world closes, only the merit of compassion remains. Fame, gain, and love all drift away like bubbles on water. When breath fades, what remains is affection and kindness. Life is not a battlefield, so there is no need to measure victory or defeat between people. Between person and person, more understanding brings less misunderstanding. Between task and task, more yielding brings less conflict. Some matters require patience. Some people require forbearance. There is no need to compete for superiority, nor to beg for approval, for everyone has their own viewpoints and character. We often take ourselves too seriously, which leads to anxiety over gain and loss, and the belief that others do not understand us. In truth, to live wisely is to lighten the ego, reduce self-centeredness, and place ourselves in others' positions. Then life becomes much gentler. The more open our heart, the greater our joy. The more generous our spirit, the more blessings we receive. Do not gossip about others, nor pay heed to rumors about yourself. A person of no value has nothing for others to discuss. The more exceptional you are, the more you will attract attention and criticism. In life, admitting fault is sincerity. Forgiving others is grace. If you offer sincerity yet receive no grace, it simply means the other person is somewhat petty and coarse. You cannot control the words of others. The easiest thing is to keep your own heart light and step past the entanglements of life. Lay down your burdens and find joy. To live happily, half of life requires clarity. The other half occasionally needs a touch of harmless foolishness. Many things are best left without overly sharp distinctions. Some matters become clearer, yet less desirable. Some people become more understandable, yet less worth associating with. Deep within everyone lies a hidden ache that others cannot share. Every hardship must be faced alone and quietly dissolved. But no matter what happens, do not allow yourself to live in constant discomfort. We cannot know how many joys await us tomorrow, how many paths we have yet to walk, or how many doors we have yet to open. Joy and sorrow make up the human world. Bitterness and sweetness shape life. No matter how painful the suffering, after a night's sleep, let it become the past. Dwelling endlessly on yesterday only exhausts the heart. What others think is beyond our control. What others do is not ours to manage. What we can do is wholeheartedly handle our own tasks, walk the path we choose, and live well. Happiness often keeps the soul gentle, and patience often brings peace. Hardship strengthens courage. Misfortune deepens empathy. Success inspires confidence. Betrayal teaches wisdom. When life wounds you, it nurtures compassion. When life grants you triumph, it cultivates humility. Be grateful for winters that reveal the warmth of human hearts. Be thankful for summer rains that cool the heat. Favorable or not, all things in life are fleeting. Do not imprison your heart with impermanence. Sit calmly, let a smile rise, and spread kindness endlessly. In life, when blessings appear, do not keep them all to yourself. Competing for gain all your life can never satisfy the endless desire for more. Even when you are right, do not press others too harshly. No matter how long the argument, worldly reasoning never ends. Even if you win, you may lose kindness. Even with exceptional talent, do not mock others. Comparing people wounds hearts. Comparing possessions forces unnecessary sacrifices. If you appear too clever, others will distrust you. If too perfectionist, you will provoke resentment. If too arrogant, you will be avoided. Overthinking breeds trouble. Nitpicking creates self-torment. Excessive pursuit creates exhaustion. Only when the heart feels content does life become spacious and free, revealing its worth. Cherish those beside you, for once this lifetime passes, you may never meet again. Treasure the joys of the present, for in the blink of an eye, they may vanish. What does it matter if a leaf falls? Autumn remains beautiful. What does it matter if a flower fades? Spring will bloom again. In the garden, there are orchids and lilies. Why look only at roses? What does it matter if a star falls? The sky still holds countless lights. A tiny firefly still shines with pride. What does it matter if one presence is missing? Life continues to bustle. People ask out of courtesy, but all must move on. What does it matter if one incense stick is missing on the altar? The fragrance remains sacred. What does it matter if one monk departs? The temple still welcomes devotees. What does it matter if a bird strays from the flock? Its song still echoes in another heart. What does it matter if a street light goes out? The moon still illuminates the night. What does it matter if one life ends? The world remains unchanged. Each of us is but a grain of dust that a person who has no time for family will eventually be forced to spend time with loneliness. A person who has no time to rest will eventually be forced to spend time with illness. A person who has no time to exercise will, sooner or later, be forced to spend time recovering. The more outstanding you are, the more attention and criticism you attract. In life, admitting your mistakes is a form of honesty, while tolerance is a type of grace. If you offer sincerity but receive no grace in return, it shows the other person may be petty and coarse. We cannot control the words of others. The easiest thing is to keep a light heart and move past life's entanglements. Cast away your worries and live joyfully. To be happy, one part requires alertness, the other sometimes a bit of foolishness. Often, there's no need for strict distinctions, because some things once seen clearly we do not wish to do. Some people once understood we do not wish to associate with. Deep in each soul, there's a hidden corner that cannot always be shared. Every difficulty and obstacle must be faced alone and quietly resolved. But no matter what happens, do not let yourself dwell in discomfort, because we do not know how many joys tomorrow will bring, how many paths await our steps, or how many doors require our effort. Happiness and sorrow make up life. Bitterness and sweetness define the human journey. No matter the pain, when you wake, leave the past behind. Dwelling on yesterday only adds exhaustion. What others think, we cannot know. What they do, we cannot control. The only thing we can do is wholeheartedly do our own work well, follow the chosen path, and live rightly. Sometimes happiness keeps our hearts gentle. Sometimes patience brings peace. Challenges can make us strong and resilient. Suffering and misfortune enlarge our compassion. Success can boost confidence. Betrayal may bring sorrow. Failures teach patience and humility. Many times, enduring pain makes the heart generous. Be grateful for winters that teach the warmth and cold of human care. Appreciate hot summers that make every raindrop sparkle. Life's ups and downs are inevitable. Do not let your heart be boxed in by impermanence. Sit quietly and let your smile extend endlessly. In life, when opportunities arise, do not rush for personal gain. Wealth and possessions, no matter how much you accumulate, can never be fully used. Knowing sufficiency allows you to stop. Even if you are right, do not press others to the limits. No matter how long a debate lasts, worldly reasoning can never fully resolve everything. Victory may come at the cost of integrity. No matter how talented you are, never ridicule others. Comparing people hurts them. Comparing things may force you to discard something valuable. Being overly clever invites suspicion. Being too perfectionist invites resentment. Being arrogant drives others away. Excessive thinking brings worry. Excessive attention brings obsession. Excessive pursuit brings exhaustion. Only when the heart feels happiness can the days flow freely. The body and mind feel at ease, and life feel worthwhile. Cherish those around you, because we may not meet them again in this life. Seize the joy of the present, because in a blink it may be gone. A falling autumn leaf remains beautiful. A gentle breeze still carries the scent of flowers. A mother's lullaby remains tender and vast. A spring bloom may fade, but the garden still has lilies and orchids. People do not gaze only at the roses. A falling star illuminates the sky. Even when stars fade, others shine brightly. Though the market may be empty, life still bustles. Villagers still ask after one another despite absence. Missing incense does not stop prayers. Priests still serve and welcome devotees. Some birds leave the nest, yet others continue to fly and sing in peaceful dreams. On a late-night path, even without streetlights, the moonlight guides the way. A single life may pass, but the world continues. Without us, life goes on. We are but a speck of dust in the vast world. If one does not make time for loved ones, eventually they must face solitude. If there is no time to rest, illness will demand it. If one avoids exercise, health will force the issue. Take time to lose weight because time is equal for everyone. If we misuse it now, we will have to make up for it later. Life is like a chess game, and your opponent is time itself. The most intense battles are sometimes measured in mere minutes and seconds. Some decisions or words happen in a moment, yet sometimes using all the remaining time cannot make up for them. Just like a dying person, even with all their wealth, they cannot buy back a single breath. Therefore, when healthy and while there is still time, strive to do useful and necessary things. Don't wait until it's too late to regret. Autumn comes, forests change their leaves, yet you keep sitting there, remembering the springs. Spring passes, summer comes, then winter returns, and your eyes well up with tears. If you remember the world as an inn, one morning when you turn and walk away, your heart will remain open, like the sunrise spreading warm light. If you remember the fleeting joys of the past, smiles may fade, darkness may surround, yet you will look back, living a life not impulsive, lifting the clouds before you to see the blue sky. Over the years, dreams fade, worldly fame and relationships linger only slightly. That's all. Nothing is truly important beyond living meaningfully and giving that if you seek worldly attachments and dust, you will find peace within the ephemeral. In silent prayer, vow to be a stone under others' feet, guiding your steps toward the path of truth. If you remember the hectic flow of life, the endless river that keeps running, pause and return to the truth. Burn incense, live mindfully in the clarity of your mind. That is compassion and wisdom. A true practitioner of Buddhism should not seek rebirth in heaven nor miraculous powers, but should seek the realization of the true mind, where infinite wisdom and compassion already exist. When can we realize the nature of light? There are 3 moments when we can enter this state of illumination. First is when we awaken to our own mind. Second is at the moment of death. No one truly understands death. Many do not wish to hear or speak of it, let alone face it. Death is not the end of life. It is merely one stage in the cycle of rebirth. The beginning of this process is the nature of light. From this light, all life arises. Ultimately, when we die, we return once more to this nature of light. From this illumination, the next life is created. Therefore, the source of all perception is the nature of light. The third moment is when we sink deeply into sleep at night. However, without practice, we cannot recognize the transitional stages, entering deep sleep, dream states, and returning to reality upon awakening. This practice is found in Tibetan Buddhism, in a special meditative method. The Tibetan Book of the Dead introduces the way to merge with the nature of light during these 3 moments. Tibetan Buddhism emphasizes integrating dreams into spiritual practice because there is an opportunity to merge with the nature of light and attain enlightenment in the phase between dream state and deep sleep. Similarly, Tibetan Buddhism stresses the importance of practice after death. People usually ignore what happens after leaving this life. In truth, many fear death, but death is neither terrifying nor mysterious. It is merely the cessation of physical body functions. The mind continues to operate after death. Consciousness can merge with the nature of light. With modern hypnosis, a person with phobias can trace their fear to the root and overcome it. Likewise, through Buddhist practice, one can uproot all problems of life and death, as well as the afflictions of desire, anger, pride, and jealousy, when merging with the nature of light after death. Buddhism's goal is to enter the nature of light in daily life. The longer we abide in this illumination, the more compassion, love, and faith grow. Afflictions gradually diminish until Buddhahood is attained. In everyday life, when we are troubled or anxious, we must immediately stop questioning why we are unhappy. The body has no notion of happiness or suffering. These arise only in the mind. So what exactly is the mind? By contemplating in this way, we can also reach a state of complete awareness. To achieve this ideal state, certain prerequisites are needed. However, it is no problem if we only wish to return to a basic state of ignorance. In our current circumstances, this is the simplest, easiest, and most effective way to overcome issues like anxiety. Some may believe that mental problems can be temporarily solved this way. But once meditation ends, we still have to face reality and the issues before us. Hence, some say meditation has no effect, in truth, reality always exists. How we face it depends on each of us. The proper attitude is to separate suffering from non-suffering. If we remain calm, relaxed, and open when facing reality, we will never be harmed. Though problems remain unresolved, once we have tried our best, we can accept the outcome if a problem cannot be temporarily resolved due to our limited ability. By maintaining a positive attitude, we can still accept the results easily without being driven into a corner. From the state of innate and limitless luminosity to the formation of consciousness and life, from the union of parents to the formation of the physical body, and finally returning to dust. This is the final cycle of life. When we achieve enlightenment, we will see that life is no different from a dream. Ignorance, suffering, and pain do not truly exist, and only luminosity remains.